Well, we've got some theeconomiccollapseblog.com. That's Michael Schneider's site. Um, how many more articles do I got to do about the housing market? I mean, if this is not a sign, we have peaked in housing like it's, again, 2000. Matter of fact, that's part of the title. In California, home sales are plunging like it's 2008 all over again. What goes up must eventually come down. For years, the California housing market was on the cutting edge of housing bubble 2, as we witnessed home prices in the state soar to absolutely absurd levels. In fact, it got so bad that a burned down house in Silicon Valley sold for $900,000 earlier this year, and a condemned home in Fremont sold for $1.2 million. But now things have changed in a major way. The hottest real estate markets in the entire country, led the way down during the collapse of Housing Bubble 1. And now it looks like the same thing is going to be true for the sequel. According to CNBC, the number of new and existing homes sold in Southern California was down 18% in September compared to a year ago. The number of new and existing houses and condominiums sold during the month plummeted nearly 18% compared with September 2017. Now, according to CoreLogic, that was the slowest September pace since, 2007, when the national housing crisis and mortgage crisis was hitting. Sales have been falling on an annual basis for much of this year, but this was the biggest annual drop for any month in almost 8 years. It was also more than twice the annual drop seen just a month previous in August, prior to September, whatever. Those numbers are staggering, and it is interesting to note that sales of new homes are being hit even harder than sales of existing homes. Sales of newly built homes are suffering more than the sales of existing homes, likely because fewer are being built compared with historic production levels. New built homes also come at a premium as far as the price premium goes. Sales of newly built homes were 47% below the September average dating back to 1988, while sales of existing homes were 22% below their long-term average. At one time, San Diego County was a blazing hot real estate market, but now the market has turned completely around. In fact, the county just registered the fewest numbers of home sales in a month since the last financial crisis. And it says a combination of rapid mortgage rate increases and decreased affordability. They obviously go hand in hand. But how long have I been talking about it? Guys, as soon as the interest rates start rising, housing prices are going to have to come down, because the monthly payment is all that matters to people. You can qualify for this monthly payment, and that's it. And since we're all getting 30-year mortgages for the most part, whatever I can afford monthly is it. So if interest rates are higher, then your monthly payment's going to be higher. Therefore, you can no longer afford that house. So you got to go to a cheaper house. And when you start to see, well, those cheaper houses are kind of in neighborhoods that I don't really like, maybe we'll hold off a little bit. Well, you may want to hold off a lot of it and wait for the housing crash 2.0 to kick in, and then go buy your fire sale home, so to speak. And again, if cryptos would just do their thing while this is happening, will this just play out perfectly for everybody? As in maybe everybody watching this video. A combination of rapid mortgage rate increases and decreased affordability, San Diego County home sales collapsed 17.5% to the lowest level in 11 years last month. In the first meaningful sign that one of the country's hottest real estate markets could be at a turning point, real estate tracker CoreLogic reported Tuesday. In September, 2,942 homes were sold in the county, down from 3,568 sales last year. This was the lowest number of sales for the month since the start of the financial crisis, when 2,152 sold in September of 2007. And it could or can be argued that things are plunging even more rapidly in Northern California. And in San Francisco, one of my favorite areas, right? Crap on the streets, the poop patrol. Hey guys, you got Snap Crap. Make sure you download your Snap Crap app. If you snap a shot of crap on the streets, the county will send almost like a like a SWAT team, poop SWAT team to go clean it up. What the? Unbelievable. Uh, where was I? In the San Francisco Bay Area, sales of new and existing homes were down 19% in September on a year-over-year basis. Home sales in the San Francisco Bay Area have been falling for months, but in September, buyers pulled back in an even bigger way. Sales of both new and existing homes plunged nearly 19% compared with September 2017, according to CoreLogic. It marked the slowest September sales pace since 2007 and twice the annual drop seen in August. The key is 2007. That was the end, right? It was the beginning of the end of the housing market. Generally speaking, that was pretty much the year. 2005, 2006, kind of peaked there. Start slowing down. What's happening? 2007, it became obvious. Hey, something's going on here. 2008, 9, the party was ending. So we're seeing that key date here. Last time we saw those numbers was when? Oh, 2007. Wonder if that means the writing's on the wall. If a new real estate crisis is really happening, these are precisely the kinds of numbers that we would expect to see. If you still need some more convincing, here are even more distressing numbers from the California real estate market that Mish Shedlock recently shared. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stats here. The California housing market posted its largest year-over-year sales decline since March 2014 and remained below the 400,000 level sales benchmark for the second consecutive month in September, indicating that the market is slowing as many potential buyers put their home ownership plans on hold. Existing single-family home sales totaled 382,550 in September on a seasonally adjusted annualized rate, down 4.3% from August and down 12.4% from September 2017. September's statewide median home price was $578,850, down almost 3% or 2.9% from August, but up 4.2% from September of 2017. Statewide active listings rose for the sixth consecutive month, increasing 20.4% from the previous year. Inventory reached the highest level in 31 months, with the unsold inventory index reaching 4.2 months in September. September year-to-date sales were down 3.3%. That was the end of the stats there. Of course, a similar thing is happening on the East Coast. At this point, things have cooled off so much in New York City that it's being called a buyer's market, no longer a seller's market. New York City's pricey real estate has become a buyer's market, new data suggests, characterized by lowball offers and a rise in the number of properties staying on the market for longer. The latest figures from Warburg Realty show that among higher-priced homes, New York City is in the throes of a major shift that reflects a cooling market, the likes of which hasn't been seen in almost a decade. Offers 20% and 25% below asking prices began to flow in. A phenomenon last seen, take a guess when? Last seen in 2009. And if you look at property prices between 2009 and 2011, maybe slightly into 2012, you will see the heavy-duty decline taking place. Like I said, the house that I rented before we bought this house, I looked up, oh my God, they paid $125,000 for this house, almost 3,000 square foot house, built in 2005 or 6 or something. Like, whoa, how did that happen? Oh, they bought it in 2012 or 2011, one of the two dates, I forget. The absolute bottom. And now they're renting it as if the house is worth $250,000. But again, hey, good for them. They bought the distressed real estate. They played the game. They're doing it. Wow, since 2009, wrote Warburg Realty founder and CEO Frederick W. Peters in the report, which surveys real estate conditions around the city. In the final analysis, it is no mystery how we got to this point. During the Obama era, the Federal Reserve pushed interest rates all the way down to the floor for years, and this caused Housing Bubble 2 to become even larger than the original housing bubble. Now the Federal Reserve has been aggressively raising interest rates, and this is now busting the bubble that they created in the first place. So if you want to blame someone for this mess, blame the Federal Reserve. That's funny because I thought I heard Donald Trump actually blaming the Fed the other day. If he could just get rid of that turd, and the income tax that came along with it. Remember, the Federal Reserve was created in 1913. Prior to that year, this country didn't collect any income tax. So anyone that argues, oh, who's going to pay for the roads? Who's going to pay for this and that? Who the hell did it before 1913? Who paid for all the stuff government had to pay for? How'd they do it? They didn't have income tax to collect, right? It's a damn scam. So I hope we get led down the path to get rid of the Federal Reserve and get rid of income tax. Oh, would that be fantastic? So yeah, blame the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve has created huge booms and busts ever since it was created in 1913, and hopefully the American people will be outraged enough following this next bust to start calling for real change. I have been calling for the abolition of the Federal Reserve for years, and there are many others out there that also want to return to a free market financial system. Oh, funny, I bet cryptos could fit right in there. Just gonna throw that out there. History has shown that free markets work exceedingly well once you take the shackles off, and as a nation we desperately need to return to the values and principles that this nation was founded upon. About the author, Michael Snyder is a nationally syndicated writer, media personality, and political activist. He is publisher of the most important news and the author of 4 books, including The Beginning of the End and Living a Life That Really Matters. Again, I thought he was running for office. Did he pull back? Or he usually mentions that for a senator, I think in his state. But, at any rate, I mean, God, the writing is on the wall. If I was in the market right now to be looking at houses, knowing I have this knowledge of how these things work, I've developed this by studying things they don't teach you in school. They don't really tell you about it on the news. Not that you would turn the news on to gain knowledge, but found it on the internet. Oh, yeah. Weed out the crap sources, keep the good ones. Michael Snyder, Wolf Richter. Hell, I go to Godlike Productions, even though there's crap posted there sometimes. Sometimes there's great things too. Sometimes even InfoWars, right? Zero Hedge, love Zero Hedge. And a couple other sites, whatever. But I find that stuff, I research it, it makes sense. I see the charts, the data. And you turn on the news and it's the opposite. Oh, no, don't worry about it. Everything's going to be fine. Janet Yellen said we'll never have a crash again. She said that, with the Fed now able to do stuff, we may never see a crash in the markets again. And maybe that's true. But if that's true, I think there's going to be a whole lot of homeless people showing up, just like we're seeing in San Francisco. And the people living in the RVs who make 6-figure incomes. Even if it's a low 6-figure, I make 105, 110 a year. Oh, poor you, Can't afford to live in a house, though. Got to live in an RV. No wonder why there's people crapping all over the streets and homeless and needles and drugs. People, feel like the end of their life is there. Oh, what the hell do I have to live for? So they turn to drugs, which make them feel good. Gets rid of all the pain and things I think about when I'm not on drugs, That's what happens. So you have to let the bubbles pop. And we also have to point the finger, why do these bubbles get created? Oh, it's the Federal Reserve and their policies. Oh, so if we got rid of the Fed, right? Remember the analogy Lindsey Williams used to use? He would say there's a spider. It's building a little nest in the corner and got the spider web, and we come in and we clean the little spider web off. The spider's hidden in the corner, but we clean the web off and go about our business. A couple days later, damn it, there's that web again. Came back. Let me clean it off again. Okay. There's web's back again. Let me clean it off. No one's going after the spider. Spider's living and you keep creating webs. And that analogy was him telling us the Federal Reserve essentially is the spider. This debt-based society that the Fed created, it prints money with interest. On every dollar that's printed, there's interest. The dollar that has interest, that interest is never printed. So how the hell do we ever pay back the interest? Or even the principal? Can't pay back the principal if you don't even have enough money to pay back the principal plus the interest. It was designed that way. So, got to get rid of the spider, and that's the Fed. You get rid of the Fed, I'm telling you the income tax could go away with it, and good times could be here for everybody. Government pays for all their bills with money they created out of thin air, or maybe they have a crypto or whatever it is. and they pay the bills without asking you and telling you, oh, you didn't pay your property taxes, we're going to have to take your house from you. Yeah, but my father and mother left the house to me, and I'm just falling on hard times. I can't afford. Well, sorry, got to collect our taxes, so we're going to just sell your house. This is criminal. And they, oh, well, whatever. That's just the way. That's the way it works. My sister, I'll channel my sister. Nobody said life was fair. Like Mama Fratelli. Follow them size fives. It's wet, isn't it? Drink it. Nobody said life was fair. Take care.